Children, so today I am here with a new chapter, how do organisms reproduce, for class 10. So this is the very first part. Today is the first class with you all. This is my first video for the chapter how do organisms reproduce. So let me introduce myself. Myself Kakoli Saha, teacher, biology teacher from DAV Public School, CCL. So children, let's start the topic. Now, all of you must be knowing what is reproduction, okay? From your lower classes, since your I think from 6, 7 you all are you all are studying, but before that also maybe that what is reproduction? Reproduction, children, is the process by which an organism produces or give birth to young ones or offspring. Rather produces young ones. But what is the main thing which you have to mention is of the same species. Reproduction is the process by which an organism gives birth or produces offsprings of the same species. This is the definition which is enough for class 10 students. Okay, now the next thing which you have studied in your previous class, that is also there in this. What are those? That is the types of reproduction. There are two types of reproduction, children. Asexual, what are they? Asexual reproduction. These are the types of reproduction. Asexual and sexual reproduction. Asexual and sexual reproduction. These are the two types of broader sense. In asexual reproduction, you all must have studied that only one parent is responsible for carrying out the entire process of reproduction. Okay, we will see how. And in sexual reproduction, two organisms are required for the process. Two organisms means same species, okay, but different sex. So two organisms are required for the process of sexual reproduction. It is not that only the animals or the human beings undergo sexual reproduction. You will see how in flowering plants also sexual reproduction takes place. So the main and the foremost difference is here one parent is required, here two parents are required. Okay, there is no formation of sex cells or gametes in asexual reproduction, but in sexual reproduction there is the formation of gametes and the fusion of gametes. So this was a brief recapitulation of what you have studied in your lower class. And there is one more difference which you all should mention while writing the answer, is that in asexual reproduction, the offspring produced are more or less similar, more or less what we cannot call them clones, but rather they are very similar to clones, means they are similar to their exact copies of their parents. But in sexual reproduction, since there is fusion of two gametes, children, you will find variation. Where will you find variation? This sexual reproduction. Here you will find variation. I will explain what is variation. Here what do you see? There is no variation. Now you must have seen that in a family, suppose you have two brother, one sister, mummy, papa is there. Do all of you are exactly the copies of each other? No, children, there are some differences amongst all of you, and that is nothing but variation. We will see later how variation helps in adjusting or in evolutionary and establishing those evolutionary relationships. But right now, we will discuss today the types of asexual reproduction, So let's start with the first type of asexual reproduction, that is fission. What it is? Fission. Now children, this fission is of two types which you have to study. It is the simplest mode of asexual reproduction. There are two types of fission which is there in your syllabus. The first is binary fission and the other one is multiple fission. In unicellular organism like amoeba or ameiba, however you pronounce it, what you will find? You will find the binary fission. Let's see how the binary fission takes place. So you see over here the diagram. What you see, this is amoeba, one amoeba, and you all know that this is an unicellular organism capable of performing all the function with this single cell. There is a nucleus situated in the center and you have the cytoplasm all around. Now during binary fission, children, bi means two. There will be there will be formation of two daughter cell. There will be formation of two daughter cell. First what you will see that the division or the formation starts, means the process starts with the nucleus, with the division of the nucleus. So first of all what you will see, there is elongation of the nucleus. You see the nucleus elongating. Then the nucleus will divide into two along with the division of the cytoplasm, Then what you are seeing, that from this single organism you are getting what? How many daughter cells you are getting? You are getting two daughter cells. Now again this one, if you consider this one, you will see formation of two from this and again formation of two from this. Okay, so in this way the number keeps on increasing. This is binary fission, children. Formation of two. You see the splitting now. Now multiple fission. From the name itself, multiple means many daughter cells form, and the best example is the plasmodium. What? The plasmodium. Do you know what is plasmodium? It is the protozoan parasite which is responsible for causing malaria. Female Anopheles mosquito, it bites, but it is a carrier of the disease, children. It is a vector, but the organism which is causing malaria is nothing but the plasmodium. So malaria needs treatment. Why? If this plasmodium gets inside your body, it increases its number at a very rapid pace. Why? Because it is capable of undergoing multiple fission. Let us see how this happens. See, this is the cell. Okay, this is the cell, plasmodium cell. How this, suppose this is how multiple fission takes place in plasmodium. This is the nucleus, cytoplasm, this is the cell membrane, and you see a protective covering around that. This is known as cyst. Now you see here the single nucleus over here is dividing into so many nuclei, so many parts, and each part is getting surrounded by cytoplasm, What? By cytoplasm. So from one you see many daughter cells are formed. How? Many daughter cells are formed. Then ultimately, children, what you will see, this many daughter cells, the cyst, what? The cyst will what? This cyst will burst open. Okay, the cyst will break and this daughter cells would come out and gain their individual identity. So this is nothing but multiple fission, where multiple fission in plasmodium. So you in binary fission you saw in amoeba, amoeba, and now you saw multiple fission in Plasmodium. So this was the first method of asexual reproduction which is there in your syllabus. Let us come to the next one. Which is the next one? The next is fragmentation. What it is fragmentation? Now children, with the naked eye you cannot see, but under the microscope when you observe the filament of Spirogyra. What is Spirogyra? It is an alga. What? It is an alga. So when you observe it under the microscope you will see simple thread like filaments. Okay, एकदम धागा के तरह तुमको दिखेगा thread like filaments. And under high power, if you are able to focus it, what you will see? You will see spiral chloroplast as well as the nucleus. So sometimes what happens, children, you all know, this fragment, this is the Spirogyra filament, this breaks up into many fragments. It breaks up into many pieces. Many pieces. Suppose it breaks up into 2-3 pieces, and each piece will means fragments. They break up into fragments, and each fragment will again become a new individual. So in this way, there the asexual reproduction takes place. That is known as fragmentation. That is known as fragmentation. So till now what we have studied is binary fission, multiple fission and fragmentation. So we will come to the next one. So let us come to the next one. Okay. So next what we are going to study is regeneration. We will study regeneration. It's very, or budding. Let's take up budding. Okay, it's an easy one again. Let's take up budding. So this is the another. So first you have studied about fission. In fission you studied binary fission, multiple fission. Second what you studied? Fragmentation. The third one what you are going to study is budding. Okay. Now Hydra, you must have come across Hydra, children. Okay. You see, these are the tentacles, these are the tentacles, this part. And you will see from the main body of Hydra, this is the main body of Hydra. So what you will see from the main body of Hydra, you will see formation of certain birds. From the main body of Hydra, you will see formation of certain birds. Okay, this is the parent body. This what you are seeing is the parent body. Okay. Now these are the birds which are arising from the parent's body. After attaining growth for a certain period of time, these birds will get detached from the body of the parent, and ultimately this one also will meet with the same fate. So what you see by the process, these are actually the birds, these are actually the BUDS birds. So in Hydra you see how the birds are formed from, arises from the body of the parents, and ultimately they fall off. When they fall off, when they are able, they will be able to sustain their own life. They will fall off and they will become individual identities, means daughter cells are formed. This is budding. In yeast cell also you must have seen the yeast. Now you must have seen from the body of the yeast you will see chain of birds coming out, chain of birds, and each of them are capable of forming a new individual. This was Hydra, this is Hydra, and this is yeast. This is yeast. So you have seen budding in two organisms where budding takes place. Now come to the next method, that is regeneration. What? That is regeneration. We will start with what today? Again, means we have started with asexual reproduction rather. So now we are going to see regeneration. Now regeneration, from the name itself you can know children, फिर से रीजेनरेट करेगा, यह नाम से ही पता चलता है. ठीक है, कभी कभी ये बच्चे कंफ्यूज कर जाते हैं. whether due to accidents or some other reason the parts regenerates, or it is a mode of reproduction. So here in your syllabus that is mentioned, it is a mode of asexual reproduction. Now take the organism planaria. Okay, now take the example of planaria. Okay, this is the organism planaria. What? Planaria. The diagram is there in your book. Suppose, okay, what you suppose that this body of planaria, okay, what happens somehow due to some reason or the other, okay, this is the body breaking up into three parts. First part, this is the upper part, this is the middle part, this is the lower part. Then ultimately what you are going to see, that this part which has lost the rest of the part, what? This part is there, it has lost this part, so this part will be regenerated. This part was there, the rest of the part regenerated, and a complete organism of planaria is obtained. Now if you look at this one, what you will see? If you look at this one, this is the middle part now children. Okay, you will see formation of what? Formation of the upper part as well as formation of the lower part. Formation of the lower part. So this is the first organism, this is the second organism, and what from here you will see the rest of the upper part will be formed. So ultimately there will be formation of three organisms. This is regeneration, means the part which is lost, those parts will regenerate, and from one organism you are able to get three organisms. You are able to get three organisms. This is regeneration. Okay. Now let us go to the next method, that is spore formation. We will go to the next method, that is spore formation, and it is a very common method in spore formation. Okay, I'll tell you what it is. Spore formation. Now see children, you must have seen, if a bread is kept for a longer time and it gets the moisture and other suitable environmental condition, you will see some green patches or yellow patches growing on the surface of the bread. And then mama tells you, please don't take this bread, ये bread खराब हो गया, अब इसको खाना नहीं है. Yes, definitely you should not. Why? Because spore, by the method of spore formation, there has been a mat growth of a mat of fungus, and that is very common one. Bread mold, we call them bread mold or rhizopus or whatever it is, rhizopus, bread mold or rhizopus. And literally children, you should not eat it by removing it, chuda ke kha liye. No, never have it. So actually what happens, you know, under the microscope, in the naked, through the naked eye, you see a cottony mass developing above on the surface of the bread. But actually when you see under the microscope, you will see certain elongated structures, so many elongated structure, the hyphae. Okay, this entire thing is known as mycelium. Now what you will see, there will be formation of some, you can see under the microscope. Okay, the entire bunch is known as mycelium, but actually it is the hyphae. One single is the hyphae. This rounded structure is known as sporangium. What it is known as? Sporangium. This is known as sporangiophore. Sporangiophore. What happens in this structure? There is formation of innumerable spores. There is formation of innumerable spores. When it matures, this sporangium bursts and the spores are liberated. Some of them or many of them fall on the bread itself, and they give rise to this structure, many such structures, and ultimately, slowly and steadily, the entire bread, if left unattended, will be covered with the growth of the fungus, that is rhizopus, and that is by the method of spore formation. So, children, these were the few methods of asexual reproduction, but we have to continue with vegetative propagation or reproduction. In the next video, we will start with that. We will take up vegetative propagation and sexual reproduction in flowering plant. With this, I would like to end up. Stay safe, stay indoors, and stay blessed. Thank you.